And now for more on the proposed trade talks, we are joined in the studio by Alex Capri. He's a visiting senior fellow from the NUS Business School. Alex, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening.
Good to see you here today. All right, so a phone call between the US President and Xi Jinping. Donald Trump requested this telephone call. This olive branch, is it going to mean, what is it going to mean?
Well, it's always a positive sign to see communication taking place and the right kind of gestures. I think it does nothing to change the fundamental dynamics of the relationship between China and the U.S. and increasingly China and the West when it comes to the trade fundamentals that, of course, have been in the news so much. So I wouldn't expect to see, a brief meeting, for example, on the side of the G20 to really fundamentally change really the trajectory of the trading relationship.
Well, Donald Trump has said that he thinks maybe they can do a deal. I mean, he used the word quite a few times, saying China wants a deal, we want a deal, let's see if we can do this. He seems hopeful.
Well, defining what a deal means, of course, would mean many different things to many different people. But the issue that we've had have been these core issues around subsidies and tech transfer and IP protection. I don't see those issues getting resolved. And of course, this standoff and this escalation that we're seeing of this tech iron curtain that is seeming to formulate before our eyes, that will continue. So the technology licensing issues, the tech control issues, the sanctions, I expect those to actually increase, and those will define value chains and supply chain networks going forward. I think there's an inevitable decoupling that will take place to a certain degree. And
we've seen a lot of that happening just over the past couple of weeks with firms sort of bowing out, saying they're not going to deal with Huawei and other tech firms as well from China. But President Xi made a pit stop in North Korea. He's extended a friendship note as well. Do you think that's significant? Is it going to be a bargaining chip, perhaps, for President Xi in his negotiations with Donald Trump? Well,
clearly North Korea is a very important foreign policy node or point in this sort of tripartite relationship between China, North Korea, and the United States. So that clearly, that will be viewed differently in Washington. The China hawks will not view that favorably. They will see this as an attempt to gain leverage by the Chinese, of course, which they then would maybe apply in trade talks down the road.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for that perspective on these trade negotiations. We'll see what the outcome is like. I've been speaking there to Alex Capri, visiting senior fellow from the NUS Business School.